So I actually have this thing, right? I'm a very, very early riser, okay? Very early. So I actually woke up at 5 o'clock this morning to watch ROH rather than staying up. And yeah, drinking Lucozade at 5 o'clock in the morning wasn't particularly fun. Sort of give me that spark. But what an amazing show. Well worth it. Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Ewan McQuaid and today we are talking Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor 2022, the return show for the promotion now under new leadership of Tony Khan himself. And what does it have in store for us? The answer to that is an absolutely banging show. This show was off the chain, and I'm going to run through the card, tell you my thoughts on every match, every angle. Let's get to it. You know how a review works, really? Yeah. Let's get to it. Starting off with the opening. The opening, first of all, I want to comment on the set. I think the set looks gorgeous. It looks really different from a lot of the mainstream promotions that I watch. And yeah, it just made for a nice little bit of flavour. Nice change of flavour for me. And while we're talking about aesthetics and stuff like that, I want to give props to the commentary team who were incredible throughout this. They told really interesting facts and statistics. They went quiet during some of the more technical matches. I think it worked really well. It was a really unique style of commentary on this Ring of Honor show. I can't remember the names. Riccaboni and he's going to be across my face when I remember him. But they were both great together. They were both great. So yeah, props to the commentary team. And then we got our first match of the night. Swerve Strickland, Shane Strickland himself, versus Alex Zane. This was a great way to start off the show. I really enjoyed this match. It was fast-paced. It was, it was flippy while mixing the technical aspects of professional wrestling in there. I think they both worked really well together. They had great chemistry, but Swerve himself is just a megastar. The way he carries himself, his presence is fantastic. It's really, really great. And yeah, it was sort of technical towards the beginning where they were trying to outclass each other, but then it really kicked into third gear when Zane hit a reverse Frankensteiner off the apron to the floor. That was incredible. That was an incredible spot and a bit scary, a little bit scary, but they got back in the ring by 10 count and the match continued. That was when it went really high octane, a lot of kicks, a lot of grapples, a lot of top rope moves, and yeah, Swerve picked up the win and it was a really fun match, really fun opener. Swerve wins, which I think is the right decision. I mean, it was a bit of an AEW clean sweep throughout the night, but yeah, great win for Swerve. I think he's going to do great things. Hopefully he sticks around in Ring of Honor for quite a bit. I think he's a really good fit. And yeah, fantastic match, fantastic opener, really liked it. Then we got into the second match of the card, which was it was Ninja Mac. Not heard of Ninja Mac. Sorry for my ignorance. There's a mystery opponent, someone who is the new member of TBE, Tully Blanchard Enterprises, and it is none other than the Machine, Brian Cage. Brian Cage came out with a sick mohawk. He's changed his hair, and he just killed him. He got a great squash match here. Brian Cage, I love Brian Cage. I really love Brian Cage. And he's so different and unique. And I think he's going to fit so well in Ring of Honor, especially in this newfound faction. And yeah, he hit the drill claw. Ninja Mac got a few bits of offense in. But yeah, Cage squashed him. It was fantastic. It feels like he's been revitalised, Brian Cage has. And I'm so happy. So happy because Brian Cage is awesome. And yeah, fantastic squash match. Really got over Cage. Really got over Mac. So yeah, this was a win all around. And I wasn't expecting it to be a squash match, to be honest. And I wasn't expecting it to be Brian Cage. Not in the slightest. I was never, ever thinking Brian Cage is going to be the one who debuts here. Never in my wildest dreams. But yeah, I'm rambling. Fantastic angle. Fantastic match. Then we got Lee Moriarty versus Jay Lethal. This match wasn't match of the night for me. It was a bit too slow for me in the beginning, but I like the story they were telling, that Moriarty knows Lethal really well. He studies his offense. He knows how to reverse his finishes. He reversed the handspring dropkick and he reversed the lethal injection. And then it got a lot more technical, a lot of roll-ups, a lot of pins, and then it switched into third gear where suicide dives, high-impact moves, a lot of the good stuff. This was one of the longer matches on the card, but the closing angle for this match I absolutely loved. So Moriarty, as you know, a lot of Ring of Honor matches, pure matches, all that kind of stuff, they kind of, you know, they have that spot where it's just a lot of roll-ups, a lot of roll-up reversals, and Moriarty just kept rolling up Lethal, and Lethal couldn't do anything about it. He tried, he didn't get pinned, he kicked out every time, but then he just got so fed up. He low-blowed Moriarty behind the referee's back, and yeah, he was so conflicted. I thought Lethal's acting was brilliant. I really loved his facial expressions and how he conveyed the, you know, the inner conflict that he had over doing this. Then he hit the lethal injection and pinned Moriarty right there. 1, 2, 3. It was a fantastically done heel turn that played out with something later. And yeah, I think he dropped Matt Sydal as well after the match, fully cementing his heel turn. And I think it's going to be great. I think it's a really promising sort of turn for Lethal, especially if he's sticking around in Ring of Honor and maybe showing up on AEW as well. I loved it. Fantastic angle to a really solid match, and yeah, was enthralled throughout. Next up, we got the match for the Women's Ring of Honor Interim Championship because Deonna Purrazzo could not make the show. So we had Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Martinez. This was a really fun match. Willow is a revelation to me. I haven't seen anything from her before, but she just oozes charisma and sort of, she's so likeable. She's really likeable. She's got great facial expression. She's got a great moveset as well. She hit this really, really nasty looking moonsault onto Mercedes Martinez though, where it was a bit like, that's scary. It was like the knees right across the chest. But the match was solid. I thought it ended a little bit too abruptly with Willow sort of just tapping out straight after. I think it was straight after the moonsault. Mercedes just got her in a stretch. It was like a reverse dragon sleeper. And yeah, she tapped. I thought it never really got into third gear like a lot of the matches on this card did. But it was really solid. It's one of the better women's matches I've seen all year. So yeah, I think these two are well, Mercedes Martinez isn't promising. She's a veteran. But Willow's really, really promising. I think she got over huge in this match to a new audience and to me, who's never seen her before. So yeah, I think solid. And Mercedes Martinez versus Deonna Purrazzo is going to slap. I can tell you that much. So I'm very excited for that. Then we got FTR versus the Briscoes in probably my match of the year so far. This was amazing. Just the opening sort of minute or two were just chants of this is awesome, or holy shit, or FTR Briscoes. The incredible fire in the opening of this match with the crowd, and they were just doing lockups, was enough to capture my attention. And then the match itself just told a fantastic story of these two teams cutting off the ring, working over each other, never really building to a hot tag apart from one, but they just cut off the ring from each other. It was very technical, a lot of in-ring psychology, and that built to a Mark Briscoe hot tag, which was insane. Absolutely insane. He did his, I can't remember what they called it. They called it like, I want to say like Kentucky Kung Fu or something like that. And I was like, wow, his chops are amazing. His vocal work, again, is just quality. And yeah, they just got in each other's faces so much. Briscoes are so good, and FTR is so good at psychology that they just worked this absolute classic that it felt like, I don't know how this made me feel. This made me feel like Dustin Cody. It was honestly just fantastic. They stole each other's finisher. The Briscoes did a tope suicida springboard onto Wheeler. I'm rambling a bit here, but just so many spots in this match was so good. Like some of the near falls as well. There was a great near fall when the Briscoes stole the big rig, the finish of FTR. There was an insane near fall when FTR hit a slingshot powerbomb into a frog splash. But FTR picked up the win. They hit the big rig on, I believe it was Mark Briscoe, and they won. They won clean. There was no cheating. There was a bit of disrespect. That was it. But at the end of the match, they shook hands. They embraced. New Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal match here. You have to check this out. This could potentially be the best match of WrestleMania weekend. And yeah, the post-match, I thought the embrace was good. I thought the bit with the Young Bucks was a bit hammy. Took away from it a little bit. The promos weren't great, but I'm excited to see FTR versus Young Bucks 2 for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, which is also insane. But yeah, absolutely flawless match. I loved it. My match of the year so far. Check it out if you haven't. Then we got Rhett Titus versus Minoru Suzuki for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. This match did what it had to do. It got Kazaninare played, which is great. Didn't go very long. There was a few interesting spots. Suzuki got all his offense in, but Suzuki caught him in the Gotch style pile driver. 1, 2, 3. Suzuki is the champion. It is what it is. And yeah, good match. Suzuki's won the gold. Not exactly going to complain. Maybe it could have gone a bit longer, but, you know, can't have too much on this show. That's something I want to say about this show. 3 hours. Perfect 3 hours. This reminded me so much of the old TakeOver days when it was like 2.5 hours of just quality in-ring action. Yeah, we'll get to that at the end. Then we got Josh Woods versus Wheeler Yuta for the Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Championship. Now, this match was really fun. This actually played a lot off what's been happening on AEW Dynamite, with Wheeler Yuta sort of joining the Blackpool gang, Blackpool Fight Club thing. I'm not too keen on the name, but it was really, really fun. Josh Woods is great, and Wheeler Yuta's great as well. And sort of Wheeler Yuta's inexperience and sort of unsureness made him use a lot of rope breaks early, but he eventually got the win over Josh Woods in a pretty short Pure Rules match. I thought this was going to go a bit longer, but actually in hindsight, those two matches in between the FTR Briscoes match and the main event actually worked really well. It was sort of a bit of a different pace to the other matches, and I thought it was really, really well structured, the card was. And this match, Wheeler Yuta won, so he will be on Dynamite as the Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Champion, which I think will only play into the story with Regal, Danielson and Mox. And I'm excited to see that play out. It wasn't like a blow-away match, but it was insanely solid, and that is, you know, one of the best things about this show is everything on the card was solid, at least. Then we headed for the main event. The main event, Jonathan Gresham versus Bandido for the Ring of Honor World Championship, the undisputed Ring of Honor World Championship. This match was really, really good. Shocker. Jonathan Gresham's in it. Of course it's good. But I think the way this was structured worked really well. The use of Chavo Guerrero in particular for some of the spots was great because Bandido wanted it to be, code of honour. He wanted to shake Gresham's hand. He wanted to do this fair and square. But Chavo wanted to do the more heel tactics, which led to one of the most inventive spots that I can't remember ever seeing, is Bandido sends Chavo to the back. He sends him away because Chavo has interfered twice. He hits Gresham with the belt and he pushes Bandido out of the way of a suicide dive, which, it's always good to see these little wrinkles that add to people's characters. So Bandido is this honourable good guy. And yeah, the match itself was really sick. It started off like a lot of Gresham matches do, sort of very technical, a lot of roll-ups, a lot of, not breast holds, but, work holds, where he's working the arm, working the leg. But then it switches gear and it just goes insane, absolutely insane. And yeah, some of the spots at the end were fantastic. There's too many for me to list off, but the last 5 minutes, from when Chavo gets ejected, the match is just insane. It goes insane. All the strikes you love, all of the, throws, the holds, the transitions, everything in this match worked to perfection. And it was a springboard roll-up sort of combination that got Gresham the win. Gresham is the undisputed champion, and I love the way he wins his matches with technical wrestling. He just, it's the holds and everything that he does. It's just so great. Gresham's so good. And he won. So he's going to be carrying the flag for Ring of Honor under this new Tony Khan umbrella, which I think is extremely, extremely exciting. But then who should come down but Jay Lethal himself, new heel Lethal, who gets in the face of Gresham, starts throwing down, and then Sanjay Dutt, who had been seen in the crowd previously during the Lee Moriarty match, comes down to break the two up, but no, clocks Gresham. They both gang up on Gresham, start beating the piss out of him. But who should come down after? Myself, I was expecting throughout this entire show that Bryan Danielson was coming out. I either thought Danielson or Punk will make an appearance on this show. But they swerved us again. Samoa Joe makes his way down, imposing as all hell, and yeah, gets in the face of Lethal. Lethal scurries. Sanjay Dutt's too slow, and Joe chokes him out. It was quality, absolutely quality. So I'm assuming we're getting some sort of Samoa Joe Lethal feud, which will be really fun. Samoa Joe is officially all elite. There'll be a graphic. There is a graphic. It's above my face. And yeah, Samoa Joe is back. Him versus Gresham. Him versus Lethal. Him versus, and this is just, fantasy booking now is all elite. Samoa Joe versus Keith Lee. Give me that, please. Please. There's so many exciting avenues. I think this is such a great starting point for Ring of Honor, sort of a reboot, and I can't wait to see where it goes. This show is my favourite show of the year. I give this 5 out of 5. Yeah, I think it's better than Revolution. I think it's better than Impact's run of shows. I think it's better than the WWE product. I think this is the best show of the year. Succinct, 3 hours, no filler, great wrestling, great angles, great characters. 5 out of 5 from me. Let me know your thoughts on Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor down in the comments below, and I'll try and reply to every single one of you. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.